Start building the home of your future today. Smart Home.
Welcome to Expound, our verse-by-verse study of God's Word. Our goal is to expand your knowledge of the truth of God by explaining the Word of God in a way that is interactive, enjoyable, and congregational.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. White, and it is Thursday evening at 7 p.m. And we have on the East Coast trying to get used to this cool air, and I hope you enjoyed your air. Hello, Pam. Good to see you. Been playing hooky, but I got it. That's cool. As long as you're here, probably gonna need your help today. With Minister Felder being out, she out. She been misbehaving today with the doctor, so she somewhere with a phone in her hand. So I'm gonna have to string it by myself unless First Lady jump in here. But she's doing the so First Lady's doing the broadcasting. I mean the producing. So we appreciate that. Who else we got on here? Um, I know Mother George should be on. That's it. I see more. Okay, well, anyway, if you guys are on my personal page on Facebook, I'm gonna ask if you would come over to Destiny Community Church side of the house. That way we can see your comments. We're having some issues on my private page with being able to highlight your comments, and so I want to be able to see them while we are live. So if you can come on over to uh, Destiny Community Church SC. You'll find that particular page, and that way we can see your highlights. All right. So if you're tuning in for the first time, we've had a few hundred people to come to join us, to follow us. So you may be just catching our Thursday nights where we are trying to make our homes better. And it starts with a little bit of finance, well, a lot of finance. And you want to see a home in upset, turned upside down, or destroyed practically, you will see it in being overwhelmed by debt. So we've covered several different subjects. We've covered how we actually get out of debt, some areas in that about debt, learning about debt. We've covered how to teach our children how to save money, how to invest money, and how to stay out of debt as well. And now we started last week on 10 commandments of getting out of debt, the 10 commandments. And we have 10 commandments, and we like to expound on scripture on whatever we say and do. So this is a Christian money management. I'm not a financial manager at all. However, I can tell you my experience that's been successful, been a long ride, but successful. And I can tell you what the biblical interpretations and teaching is concerning our wealth, concerning being out of debt, and concerning being prosperous in that area. And it's more than just laying on hands and throwing oil. Far more than that. It's actually a little bit more pain, whole lot more painful than that. But at any rate, God has a plan throughout His Word as it concerns money management. And so, the 10 Commandments, we are on a second part of 10 Commandments. I'm just going to cover the first three. I think it was three that we covered on last week. And I just want to cover that. That is number one, thou shalt determine where thy money is going. Thou shalt determine where thy money is going. So we got to come up with a plan. You can find any type of budget plan online. You can Google a budget plan, print it out, and that way you can see where your money is going. No guesswork. This is work. So then The second commandment that we talked about last week is that thou shalt determine the total amount of thy debt and devise a plan to pay it back. So now that you see the debt, now we got to devise a plan to pay it back and get out of it. So we're not going to expound on that, but if you missed it, you'll see the video in the archives, either on YouTube. Especially YouTube has a nice little folders that we put in our broadcasts in, so it's easy to find it if you go to the YouTube channel, which is Destiny Community Church SC. All right, and then the third commandment, which is where we stop, is thou shalt not presume on future earnings. Don't make plans on what you hope to be making. Don't make plans on what you hope this new job, gonna benefit you in income. So that's what that's saying. Don't make no plans on your retirement money, that kind of stuff. So we're going to cover in the part one, we're actually studying the 5 commandments, but we have 10 commandments. So that was the first 3 commandments. So let's go ahead and get started with the 4th commandment. We're only going to deal with 4 and 5 today. 4 and 5 today. And then we'll start the new set next week. All right. Before we take a break, but we'll get out of all the commandments. All right. So here it is. Number 4. Number 4 is thou shalt destroy all credit cards. See that? Destroy. Destroy. That's it. I know that it hurts, it pains you right now for me to say that, and for you to hear that, I should say. But we got to destroy all of them except for one. All except for one. Now, as I said in the outset, as a pastor, we have we have actually seen a lot of homes destroyed by the threat of credit cards. I've seen misuse of credit cards break up many homes and cause us sufferings and pain and hurt and more innocent children than drugs and alcohol. It's about the same in my experience. It's about the same. About the same in my 30 years of ministry. Well, I can go as far as to say that it's probably a couple of percent more that homes have been destroyed because of debt and credit cards. So words do not have the power to describe the long-term damage credit cards can do to our homes. All right. And you're still working on that, but I'm doing better. All right. Yes. I wish y'all could see those credit cards. She used to have them in a bag, but after tonight, I'm going to tell her what she needs to do with those 25. She doesn't use them anymore. I must say she doesn't use them anymore. She has them in a bag. Let me clear that up for a second there, Sister White. All right. So hold on just a second. Let me clear up how we are responding here. Okay. All right. So let's get back to work. All right. So when we're going into that, we need to remember again the principle that Jesus gives us in Luke 14. Luke 14:19 tells us that I should first sit down and estimate the cost. What is the cost? It's going to hurt. You got, and that's when he was in reference there was in context, he was in reference the cost of following him. You see, even with this, even with money, it hurts to follow him. That's what he's saying. In that particular, the context of that particular scripture is that he was telling people, you got to count the cost to follow me, because you're going to have to leave some things that seem to be easy, things that are familiar to you, even family members. So you got to count up the cost. And here it is, even with finances, it's not a wash because you pay tithe. It's not a wash because somebody then got some oil and put on your head, or you ordered some water off TV. Are you hearing me? So it's gonna take work. Now, let me show you two other scriptures that's before we get started to see why God says it's cost. We got to consider this. This is why it's important. In Matthew 25, and so he that had received 5 talents, that's money, not abilities. Talents came and bought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 talents more. So the money that God allows us to have, because 100% of it is his, he allows us to have 90% of it, because he tells us to give him 10% back. He just want to test our faithfulness and grow our love for him. And then those that didn't, this is what happened. Matthew 25:26 says, but his Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servants, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, or at my coming, I would have received back my own interest, meaning that he reaps the different rivers that we should be investing in. Different rivers mean different streams, I should say, different streams of how we receive income. So, but it's based on how we manage it. All right. So now let's get back to this this killing these credit cards. All right. So let's examine the cost of credit cards. The average American household, listen to this, average over at least $8,400 on credit cards. Now that's from a 10-year that's report. That report is over 10 years old. It's probably way above that now. But takes, for instance, $8,400 on credit cards, making payments of $98.39 per month, which is more than what's required. At 14% interest, it will take 40 years to pay off. And at the end of those 40 years, you done paid $47,000, but still have the balance of $8,000 to pay off, because all that is interest. So this was one of the things you got to know about credit cards, is that when you go and buy something that's on sale, it's really not on sale. You're actually probably paying 2 times as much as that dress actually costs, because now you got to pay the credit card bill and the interest that comes along with it. All right. So now I want you to watch this here. I'm gonna put up. Let's go over into brand. All right. Now let's take for an example. A balance of, say you have $8,400 with 14% over 10 years. Now, if you have that in credit card bills, it's just the estimate. If you have 14%, that's likely, or even more. And if you pay that much over 10 years, you're paying actually $11,760. Then the remaining balance is what? It's 8,040. You never paid on the balance until that 10 year. The rest of that right there, that 11,000, that is interest. All right. Okay. Here's another example of a balance being 12,000. At $12,000, so you owe $12,000 worth of credit cards. At 14% over 10 years is about $16,000. It's how much you're going to be paying over 10 years. And then the remaining balance, again, you just get into the 12,000. So that's hard to think about, but we don't see it. If we don't put it down, we don't see it. Right? Okay. All right. I need my thinkers on, y'all. This ain't easy work for us. All right. So now we can see why credit cards. Well, let me go back up and give some answers to those who have our booklet. Number 22 for your blank, you want to fill in $12,000. $12,000 goes in that blank for the blanket number 13. All right. And then what we just covered was number 14 for 20 years. When we talked about the 8,000 $8,400. For 20 years, it's $23,520. And then for blank number 15, put in $33,600. That's for 20 years on that $1,200. Okay. All right. Now let's go on down here. And now we can see, and we're on page 31 for those of you that have the material. We can see why credit cards are one of the most profitable businesses in the country, and an average American family receives 8 credit card offers a month or more. Now, this is what I would have you to say to your, let's see, the credit cards that you keep. We're early. Hold on a second. So here's the thing. You probably are being bombarded with credit card offers with free interest, 0 interest for a certain amount of months. It's the same concept as the cars. Remember when we talked about the cars and the interest? It's the same concept. Some of us will receive pre-approved. As a matter of fact, that's how we probably ended up with a whole lot of credit cards, because they came in pre-approved and ready for you to cash it in the first time. And once you cash it in, they got you. So the first thing that you should do, as soon as you see it, especially if we're in a plan here, and we on a plan and we're working, as soon as you get that thing out of the mail, find the nearest garbage can. Find the nearest, as soon as you walk in the house, dump it in the garbage can. We have a garbage can. As soon as we come in our back door, that's the first place that one goes. Bam. And if I don't see it, as soon as I see it, bam. Because it's still tempting. We still human. We still want things. We still gonna desire things. Don't play with it. That's how we got caught in the first place, right? That's how we got caught up in the first place. So don't even play with it. The Lord tells us when we are tempted to run. So, I ain't gonna run out the house, so I need to run that thing into the trash can, or either tear it up. Some of us need to tear it up and then put it in the trash can, because if we had it real bad, we'll go in there and get it. After a little time, we'll go dig out and get it. So you want to rip it up and put it in the trash. All right. So most people don't realize that they're getting ripped off by credit card companies. They think they're having high limits and no limits, and doing them a favor by having these limits. But in reality, the worst decision many couples make is the start of using the credit card. All right, especially new couples. And if you are looking for somebody, don't even get started. A lot of times God, and I know you heard this before, for those of us that's single, that's right, press them up and put them in trash them. A lot of us that's single, God is oftentimes getting us ready for that Boaz. He's getting us ready for that Boaz. And a part of him approving that you are ready is how you handle your money. He's like, I don't see, not unless we are filling our own selves, I don't see God sending us to somebody that is honoring him, a man that's honoring him, doing the right thing with his money, and send you to him to mess his credit up. So we want to start it, and vice versa. God ain't gonna send nobody you to come into your life to mess your credit up, unless now if you only praying and you asking God to send you somebody, then send you to write somebody. Don't just say no, send me somebody, because he'll do what you ask him to sometimes. So you want to ask to write somebody, and he's not going to send that right somebody to you that's going to mess up your credit. So vice versa, you're going to need to prepare yourself. All right. All right. To get out of debt, we must stop buying on credit card. Get used to not buying on credit cards. And the best way to do that is to destroy all of them except for one. As I already mentioned. It's important to do it right now, even right now while we're talking. I'm going to take a sip of water. If you got to run over to your pocketbook and get it, I'll give you some time to cut it up. Do it right now, because right now is an incentive. Right now you're motivated. Right now you like, yeah, I can do this. I'm gonna do this. But soon as this is over with, it's getting cold out. I need to go get me a coat, leather coat, a trench coat, and all that good stuff start creeping in. I start next year. Oh yeah, Christmas is coming up. I start at the new year. No, do it right now. Do it right now, except for one. Except for one. All right. Okay. So now, uh, here's the thing. This is how we're going to do this. It's important, right? Do it right now. Select the one with no annual fee, the lowest interest rate, whether it's MasterCard, Discover, whichever one, and set it aside. Set that one aside. That's the one you're going to save. Set that one aside and perform, let's see, nope, plastic surgery. Yes. Conduct plastic surgery on all the rest of them. Let me repeat that. Keep the one that has no annual rate. Make sure you pay off the balance. Yeah, you're going to pay out. We're going to get there too. Y'all a little early on that one. But this first step. So the first step, we got to get them out your hand first. So let's get it out your hand, except for one, and get the one that has the lowest interest rate and the one that may have no annual fees. Whichever one of those that one comes close to that, that's the one that you keep. And again, perform plastic surgery on the rest of them. Cut them into about 12 pieces, not one, not where you can tape it back together. Cut it up in about 12 pieces. Y'all doing that? Y'all doing that right now? I'm gonna put a link in here so y'all can show me. Come on the broadcast and show me what y'all doing with the credit card. I'm gonna do that in a few minutes, actually, because I got some questions I want you to answer. So it's gonna give you an opportunity to come on and share with us some questions I'm gonna have with you, or you can put it in the comment section. So you want to prepare for that. You ain't gotta go get dressed up or nothing. You can come on without the camera showing, and I get your voice. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead now to talk about what we're gonna do with this other one. Now with the one that we're gonna keep, and we're gonna keep that for emergency reasons only. For emergency reasons only. And what you're gonna do with it is you're gonna get a metal can, fill it up with water, and put the card in it. Y'all hear me? Get the metal can. There you go. Fill it up with some water. Don't drink all the water. I'm getting my nails and feet. I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Don't pay for that nails and feet with no credit card and then go cut it up. I don't know. You may have to get somebody to come and get you. Get one of your children to come down there and pay for it. I said cheering. That's what we say it in Sharaf. Cheering. All right. So now you're gonna get the metal can, put the credit card in it, fill it up with water, and then you're gonna put it in the freezer. All right, sister. All right, then you're gonna put it in the freezer and let it freeze. Let it stay there. Because here's the thing. Now, when you have one of those impulses, something don't come on TV and you're ready to grab and go get it, or if something else comes up, even if an emergency come up, you got to wait for it to thaw out. And hopefully by the time it thaws out, and you don't have the emergency, you had to take care of it before it thaws out. There really wasn't an emergency. It really wasn't. But so if you have to wait for it to thaw out, then maybe you can go ahead and take care of the emergency. All right. So now, let's see here. All right. So let's go on to page. This is like cutting out a cancer out of our finance, because credit cards are deadly destructive hindrance to our finances. Not only to our finances, but to God's purpose for our lives. because we are held in bondage by our finances, because we can't do as much as we want to do because we are in bondage. All right. So when it comes to credit cards, we should obey what command is found in Hebrews 12:1. Hebrews 12:1 tells us I should throw off everything that hinders me. Or we like to read that from King James, and it says, to throw off every weight and sin that besets us. So we're throwing off credit cards today. All right, we're throwing off credit cards. We're not going to get out of debt. I have to keep saying this because I see it so much and I just despise it. We're not going to get rid of it. We're not going to throw it off, the weight off the ship, by having somebody to pray for us, having again some oil put on our head, or turn around a couple of times and sow this amount of $100 seed, and you get something else going to come to you and you're going to get paid off. No, it's not. God has so much to say about money in the scripture. The problem is you probably don't hear a lot of it because we're scared to tell you. Well, some are scared to tell you the truth about it because they're scared that you'll close down. I'm here just for people that want to learn, people that want to be free, truly set free by the truth. And the truth is God's word. If you can hold God to a promise, then you're in good shape. Anytime you can hold God to a promise, but you can't hold God to what some joker done made up. We can't hold that to up on him, and he doesn't honor it. So when we learn his word about what he says and his direction, then we can do it. All right. So let's move on. We may be so addicted to our credit cards that we think, what is this? You are stepping. Oh, I don't mean to step on nobody's toe. But that happens. That's good growth. It just grows. It hurts. It hurts me. I told y'all in the beginning that this is not good. I mean, not good. It hurts. It's painful, but it's freedom in it. Y'all hear me? All right. So, all right. So, all right. So we may be so addicted to credit cards that we think we can't live without them. And that's the problem. And that's an addiction. But after the withdrawal is over, about 4 to 6 months, we'll wonder how we could been so foolish to use them in the first place, when we realize that we can get by without them. I've been there and done that. You're just foolish to think that I've used them when all these years now that I've gotten to buy without using them. So this will again take hard, diligent work. It will cause you to have to put on some restraints of demonstration. All right. Recovering addicts. We got recovering addicts. There should be a speech, we should say, that we should raise our hand and say, I'm a recovering credit card addict. All right. So in verse 29, it tells us in Proverbs 10 how we should give us the motivation to get rid of all our credit cards. 10:4. Let's see here. Here we go. Being lazy will make me poor, but being diligent will bring me wealth. See, they don't say nothing about no oil. They don't say nothing about no praying cloth. They don't say nothing about no holy water. Nothing about no hands being laid on you. This is work. We can't be lazy. Diligent work. You have to have a focused plan to be effective diligently, if that's such a term. Just got a notification on my email offering credit card. Yeah, see, Satan's mad. He mad at me, and he gonna be mad at you. And that's fine, as long I do know what else is going on. God is smiling on me, having the wherewithal in His direction to teach this, and for you to have the wherewithal to be listening. So if God's smiling on you, Satan could be mad all he want to. Ain't that right? Amen. All right. So after destroying all of your credit cards except for one, we must now apply must not apply for new ones, regardless of the attractive offers. They're gonna send some attractive offers because they ain't gonna see no bills coming in. So they're wondering what's going on. Ain't no new bills coming in. And now the first thing on their mind, we gotta keep hooking them. Because if you stop, then that means correction ain't pretty, but it's necessary. It is. So because if they stop seeing you new purchases, they're gonna start thinking they losing you. You are keeping them in business. Did you hear what I said? You're the one that keep credit card companies rich. Okay. All right. So here it is. There is a credit card indebtedness chart that we probably want to consider doing. We looked at this last week. I'm just going to show it to you one more time. Okay, you got it. So this indebtedness credit card. So we're getting ready to start to deal with the debt now. Now we got rid of the cards. This is how we start dealing with the debt. So you want to list the creditor. You want to list the remaining balance, and then the monthly payment that you're making, and the remaining payments, the interest rate, and then get your total debt and what it's going to cost. So you want to see this. You want to put it down and see this. Now you can find this again. You can find something like this online anywhere. Or go to a bookstore and you can get it. Or take a snapshot of this and type it up. A screenshot of this and type it up where you can see. All right. Okay. So now, for those of you that may be viewing us on my personal page, I'm going to ask that you come over to the Destiny Community page so that we can highlight your comments so that I can see why we're live. All right. So now, so what you want to do now, you're going to prioritize by numbering 1, 2, and 3, those debt, what you have in debt. All right. Okay. So now you're going to prioritize. Once you get all those, one of those should have each one. Let me put it like this. One debt should have this list. Then number 2 debt should have this list. Then number 3 debt should have this list. Now, how we're going to list them, we're going to list them from smallest to the largest. Smallest to the largest. You follow me? All right, once we do that, we're going to then target the smallest debt to be paid off as soon as possible. So we're going to pay off the smallest one as soon as possible. Once it is paid off, draw a line through it, or if you have it on a separate paper, tear it up and throw it away. Once it is paid off, then you can make real sense of accomplishment and realize that this can be done. You can get out of debt. So soon as the account is paid off, we can cancel the card and never use it again. All right. So remember that. Then the money used to make that payment now becomes what we call victory fund. Victory fund. This is our personal victory fund. So when you pay off that first smallest debt, now you take that money and this is your victory fund. And what you're going to do, you're not going to go out and celebrate. You're not going to go out and buy steak and shrimp and all that stuff. You're going to take that victory fund money and you're going to put it towards paying off your next debt. So when that next debt is paid, then you apply it to those bills, whichever one is the next lowest. Y'all follow me? Hope this making a little bit of sense to you. Until your indebtedness is completely paid. The next one you pay off, the third one you pay off, now you're taking the money from that first, second, third, and now you're paying on the fourth. Trying to get it out of there. Now this is going to take a while, but this is how you do it. It's the best way to do it. And the reason for that is because you don't want to be paying on the smallest one. Say the smallest one, let's say $500. No, that's too much. I hope anybody. well, let's say the smallest one is $200, and you don't want to be paying a high interest rate for a long period of time on that small $200 credit, because it's piling up a lot of interest over a long period of time. So why don't we just get that out of the way? That smaller debt, get that out of the way first. That big debt is going to be there. It ain't going nowhere. And so the interest rate going to be the same. But we can knock out these small ones as soon as we possibly can. All right. So, all right, now let's move on to look for the lowest rate of interest offered by a credit card company. All right, once you pay it off, let's see what Sister White, is this considered a snowball effect? I I'm not sure if that's a financial term for it. Oftentimes when we use the term snowball effect, it's normally in the negative. It's something that is horrible that can happen. Snowballs, something that's collapsed, avalanche. However, this is a snowball effect, or either I would say more of a domino effect, because a snowball effect, it enlarges. So you roll the snow, make the snow starts little, and then you start rolling it, and the more snow starts sticking to it. Now, that's what happens when we're not doing this work. It's the opposite. So our interest grow, our credit grow. With saying it's a domino effect, is that you're knocking stuff down. It's falling down systematically. Okay. All right, good question. All right, so should we then we should look, once we pay off uh the indebtedness. Hold on a second. Got one more question here. What if you transfer all your balances on one card? What if you transfer all the balances? Um, I I don't know if you can do that. Can you do that? Oh, you can? I don't know. How's the interest on that? Get on the mic, Sister White. You say you know it. Come on in the. All right.
Good evening, everybody. Sister Felder.
Hold on a second. All right.
You can. Okay. Yeah, you can. You can transfer. And most times when you get to a point where they offer you that, your finance rate is usually a little bit better than what you have on the individual cards. So I would recommend, yes, if your APR is going to be better for you if you combine.
Okay, so here's the thing. So at that point, so you're pretty much putting one credit, you're paying one credit card, you're pretty much paying on the other, or paying it off. A consolidation. We're gonna get to the consolidations in a minute, and I'm not sure. I have to look into that before I give a definite answer to that. But it sounds like consolidation. Um, and if it's consolidation, that's not always good. Um, because if you can't pay the card off right then and there, the other one, then you're gonna be then you're gonna lose track of what you done paid off. Y'all follow me? Does that make sense? Okay. Because so as you got Discover here and you got Visa here and you got American Express, you got 3 right here. So if you transfer American Express, Discover card all to the Visa, however you would do that, but it's not actually paid off, this company is paying them, right? This company here is paying those other companies. They paying them monthly. They paying them off like continuously, or they pay them off. They pay them off. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that, but apparently you can do that. And if you can do it like that without extending, of course, without extension of the time that you have to pay off, without extra annual fees, then it would be okay. I don't see a problem with doing that. All right. Okay. So let's see. Okay, actually you can do it. On page 33, it tells us that if you call the company, once you done paid off the credit card, you want to call the company to see if for the next one, you remember how we were tracking the domino effect with paying off the each one? So when you get to the next one, when you start getting to those bigger ones, you want to call and see if they would give you a lower rate, a lower interest rate. And if they don't give you a lower interest rate, then you can consider transferring 1 or 2 current cards at the highest. Yeah. Okay. All right. But we should not consolidate all our credit card debts, because the low interest rate, or we will lose the motivation we needed to keep on doing what we're doing. So it's important to see the progress as we pay off various debt. That's the psychological part of it. All right. Now, there are 3 things that we should never do to get out of debt. Take out home equity loans, nor should we borrow against our retirement. All right. So those are a couple of things that we should not do. 35. For those of you that had the material, these are the answers. 23. Well, let's back up. 22 is transfer. 23 is consolidate. 24 was retirement. And number 24, as it concerns what we shouldn't do, number 1 was to not don't take out home equity loans, don't borrow against our retirement, and don't borrow against don't get a consolidation loan. Okay, so now we're down to our 5th and final commandment for today, for this week. The 5th one is thou shalt sell non-essential assets. We should sell all non-essential or assets that we have. Sell them. Now we now that we've did the work on the credit card, which you can hear, that's a whole lot of work, mundane work, until you start seeing the progress. Then you get excited and motivated about it. And so the 5th thing is to start selling some stuff we don't need. When we find ourselves in a financial storm, we must take the same action one would take to save a sinking ship, a ship that's in a storm at sea. In the book of Jonah, the mariners did something there that we all can take from in a violent storm. Jonah 1, verse 5 says, they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. They threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. In the same way, if our financial ships are to stay afloat, if they're going to stay afloat, we must lighten the load. If we are married, non-essential items to be sold should be a mutual decision between you and your spouse. All right. Discretion could be made between whatever the kids. That's up to you, the parents and the kids. Well, don't leave too much to the kids because they'll keep everything. I got some stuff I'm looking at right now that I've been looking at for a while. But I can't get one of the grandparents to go in with me to either sell it or give it away. The My granddaughter's stuff that she seemed to be a grown out of, but she seems to want it whenever she comes. So that's why it stays there, I guess. All right. So now here's the thing on this. It's a good idea to go through all our possessions that are just collecting dust, of course. An excellent way to get rid of small items is, of course, a garage or a yard sale. The sale, or here in this community, in this county, we have Goodwill barns, I guess, barns, they would call them, where we can dump clothes and different type of appliances and toys in. And they'll I think they end up selling them, but way at a cheap price. They don't. I didn't say dump. Did I say dump? Okay, we can drop them off in. All right. So yeah, well, don't take no trash out there. Just sell the trash, I guess. I don't know. Do something with it. You're trying to make some money for one. That's the idea. So to get out of debt, sell the rapidly depreciating items, big ticket items such as boats, campers. That should be at the top of the list. Those type of things. That's stuff you can't drop off in the bargain bin. In actuality, you're just trying to sell to make money. And guess what we're gonna do with that money? We're gonna put it on some debt. We're gonna put it on perhaps some credit card debt. All right. So uh so 39, number 39, to get out of debt, it may be necessary to consider living in a home that's more compatible to your income or driving a less expensive car. All right. So now that stings, don't it? I know it stings. You probably don't feel up to the move, especially now that it's cold. And I ain't saying you got to move right now anyway, but it's gonna take you a while to make this decision. But if you're single, it doesn't take that long to make this decision, especially about um, your home and the expenses, because you're the only one you have to decide for, with the exception if you have a single mother or a single father. But your kids gonna ride with you regardless. They don't see all that stuff. We the ones got that issue. And now, if you're married, of course, that's going to take planning between you and the husband. If you feel like you got to downsize for his home or downsize the car. We just downsized one of our cars. Not so much by choice. It was a choice at the end of the day, but we downsized given that I'm not making the money that I was once making, and so. But it's pretty nice. Not much difference. Um, huh? I shouldn't lie, should I? Okay, I take it back. I miss it, but I don't miss it. Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So here it is. So home is number 39. Home is number. I'm sorry, number 27. Number 27 is home. So you may have to uh, move to where it's more compatible to your income. This may require, of course, and will require a change of lifestyle. But if you're heavily in debt, our lifestyles are nothing but an illusion. We're not really where we're showing everybody that we are. And so what we're doing, we're spending a whole lot of money just to impress other people that don't like us anyway, and we probably don't like them. Put that back up. Let me see what she's saying. That is what I got to do, is sell a car because insurance is high. Yeah. And we did, I think we saw a little decrease in insurance as well. And so you have to make those type of decisions. Now, if my wife was single, the way I have no doubt she probably would get her a little tiny house. But since she's not, we ain't doing a tiny house unless we are renting it out. And we would have, we discussed it, but we don't live in the area. We live in a rural area, so we don't live in an area where there's a lot of traffic for its visitors looking for little tiny house. What they call the MBs, bees, urban bees, what they call them thing? Oh, okay. Well, all right. So with that said, that's right. Uh, so another asset to consider is our savings account. So our savings account is another asset that we need to consider. It makes little financial sense in about 5 more minutes. We'll be done with this. It makes little finance sense to have some money in the savings account, earning about 3 or 6% while paying off your credit cards. All right. However, we should never completely deplete our savings, because we should have some emergency cash, maybe $1,500. Now, this book again was written. This material was written about 10 years ago, so they're suggesting $1,000, but I suggest probably at least $15,000, maybe $2,000 would be good for saving for emergencies. And they recommend $2,000. And again, this is 10 years ago, a 10-year-old economy. If you're paying off credit cards, all right, you should take one of those thousands and pay off a credit card. All right. So that's it. So the one thing that will keep you from getting out of debt is not the devil. Remember this. And we're about done. Hold on a second. Let me see what Miss Pam's saying. I told my husband, let's live in the RV because we can have. That's a good idea. Yeah. So that's not a bad idea at all. So remember this. It's not the devil. When we're trying to get out of debt, just trying to keep us. It's not your income that's trying to keep us in debt. The reason for is not getting out of debt. And it's not the amount or the type of debt. It's you putting off getting out of debt. All right, that's 31. Putting off the decision to start following the 10 commandments for getting out of debt. If you delay, you place your family in trouble, in dangerous waters. All right. Okay, that's it. Now, what I want to do, if y'all don't mind, I want you to answer a couple of questions for us, or for me. The first one is, which expense category seems to be under control in your life? Now, while you're typing that or thinking about it, I'm going to send a link where, if you want to come on and share that with us, if you want to come on the broadcast and share that with us in person, you can. So give me a second while you're go ahead and show them the second question too, so you can start getting that second question in your head as well. All right, that's going to be the second question. All right. Now you should be able to see this link if you like to come on, or you can just type it in. Okay, I don't see my personal page. Gosh. All right, if you listen to on the personal page, I can't see, but I'm gonna go over there. It's up. It's showing comments. Okay. I think I'm getting that. I'm gonna go over there and put in an invite. And actually, you can do that. Can you do that? Okay, I'm almost there. I think Pam has put up something. All right, just a second. I'm almost on my personal page to put in um, the link if you desire to come in. Okay. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll now. Let's go back over here to Pam. All right, so Pam, let's go back to number one. She says shopping. Shopping. All right. That's a good start. Anybody else? Utilities. All right. Is that for the expense category to get under control? Especially going into the winter time. We want to already start out the winter trying to make sure we can adjust to or getting control of our thermostat. Okay. Like I said, that's one of my things I need to do. I doubt it though. All right. So what's this? Thou shalt determine the total amount of thy debt and devise a plan to back it. What is that? Is huh? Okay, you're saying okay. That's one of yours. Okay. All right. Let me get back over here where I belong. Okay. Number two. All right. Number two. Which are the three expense categories need most improvement? I think you guys seen that. I mean, that's what Pam was in reference to. All right. And that's almost the same question, isn't it? One is under control, and the other one is most improvement. Need the most improvement. All right. Pray before I pay. All right, that's good. Pray before I pay. That's good. I like that. Grocery, spending on the grandbabies. All right. Our grandbaby moved to another city, so we don't get to see her at the one that's closest. She's the closest. Used to be real close, not even 20 minutes away, 15 minutes away probably. Now she done moved a whole 2 hours away, and so she don't get to spend as much money now because we don't get to see her that much. All right, and then the next closest is what, Georgia? Somewhere down in Georgia and Texas. So we won't have the grandbaby problem. Grocery, what are y'all buying in grocery, Pam and Miss Brooks? What y'all doing? What kind of grocery y'all getting? Nobody can hear you, Sister White. That might be a good thing, but I want to see what kind of groceries y'all buying. See, I hate going in the grocery store, especially the Walmart. I don't even. I try all I can to not go in a Walmart. So, what are y'all talking about grocery? I mean, what y'all eating? Somebody put in there what y'all eating. What's now? I know right now I ain't crazy with the snacks. Oh, that was I was gonna say Pam agreeing with you. You better get on out of here. Snacks for the man. Our grandbabies are out of the city too, but they. Yeah, I know. That's right. How old are they, Pam? How old? The twins. The twins are what? 12? 10. They 10. They getting used to the fact that Papa can transfer money to their mama. So I had to pull up on that right quick when they figured that out. They didn't figure that out early. All right, so steak, ground beef, salmon that much. I, Miss Brooks, I'm trying to get off of meat, and I've done pretty good. So all I eat is mostly salmon. But see, I guess if I'm not there in the grocery store, I guess that's the problem. If I don't see it, you know, the prices. So my wife, she go get that stuff, and I didn't realize salmon was that much. Now I do know that meat is expensive now. Well, I know that because of the news. And all right, so meat is expensive out here. Yeah, that's almost anywhere. I don't see how much difference in the commissary nowadays, Pam. Even back then, I couldn't get too much out of commissary. Besides, no sales tax. All right, what these numbers was for? Oh, your grandbaby's age is okay, nice. Oh yeah, they spoiling age. especially that 5, 5, and 2. My goodness. Yeah, you got it bad. Mm. And they right in there together. So, yeah, it's okay. Now number 3, what can be done to bring each of these categories under control? Okay, so we talked about the good. Y'all, thank you for participating so much, because a lot of people across the world, when this broadcast is released after tonight, it'll go across the world, and a lot of people will see y'all's comments, and it's helping. Now, this is where it gets down to the nitty gritty. Your comments are going to help somebody. Is that how what do you, and I know we just talking about this tonight, but off the top of your head, what is one of the things that you'll do to uh knock down the grocery bill, or not under control? The utilities, I think I saw. uh Shopping, I saw. All right, what are the things you're gonna do? You can go ahead and stroll that third one, Miss Producer. All right, paying off, stroll it. Okay. Somebody, oh, paying off credit cards and keeping one. Okay. You really, Minister Felder, you're really taking the easy road today. You just using the answers, which is fine if that's what you're doing. Okay, that's a good answer. Since you got the cheat sheet, you know, you've been here, so okay. What else you gonna do? How about that? What else you gonna do besides your credit card? All right, self-control, Mother George. Mother George, should you be shopping, don't you? I gotta ask Red what you be doing. Is it shopping? Hey, you right. You get a whole lot of benefits out of that. You're gonna lose weight. You're gonna get spiritually strong. On top of that, there's a whole lot coming from that. That's a good one. And get healthy as well. Because some of the stuff we need to fast from ain't doing us no good. All right. What was that? That was last up. Um, I think it was Minister Pell. Stop buying in bulk. I thought buying in bulk was a good deal. I don't know, Corey, what you buying in. Why wouldn't buying in bulk be? Why would that be bad? That was something. Somebody was laughing right before that. I wanted to see. Let me see who that was. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Buy too much. Oh, what you buy? Can I be nosy? What you buying too much of? Huh? Okay. All right. If you say so. I'm curious to what you buy. What can you buy too much of besides snacks? If you're trying to be healthy, that's a no. Now it costs to be healthy. So I mean, So I'm trying to eat salmon almost every other day, and I just learned that's expensive. All right. Okay. We got anything else? Let's see. I'm starting to limit my trips. Okay. Um, why were you going to Walmart? What was your trips? Just why would you be at Walmart? I don't like you limiting your trips because you don't bring me no stuff back. And when you come home from work, that'd be the highlight of my day. Okay, Minister Benjamin, I'm gonna start calling him Minister Benjamin. But anyway, you can use all that stuff eventually. Now, unless you've been giving it away, you give it away, or does other people use it? Now, if other people use it, yeah, that's what I would. Now, you got a whole lot of folk in your house, and you buying that household stuff. Put it back up again. Um, you buying that good household stuff like that, but you got other folk that live in the house just going through it that you don't have to support, like grown folk. Then yeah, you would probably want to buy, um, not buy bulk. You have enough for 2 years. Well, shoot, man. Now you can put that money for 2 years, put it towards your credit cards debt or some other debt, right? Send some to the East Coast. First lady say, yeah. Okay. Is that it? Okay. All right. Well, I've enjoyed you guys. I appreciate you participating, doing the hard work. Not just coming to church with leaving your brain at home. That's what I'm called to. People that wanna that have a brain. All right. So thank God for you. And next week we're going to be talking about the other five commandments. We got another five commandments. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get through all of them within an hour, but we're going to try to get through all of those. And then the final session would be on homes, on buying a home or renting a home or selling a home. And I may get a realtor on with us for that. I'm not sure. All right. All right. Okay. So y'all have a blessed night. Let me pray for y'all right quick. God, we thank you now for this lesson that you set before us. I pray that everyone that is hearing, even on this live, and that we're here throughout the week, as it concerns handling the money that you have allowed us, blessed us with. Some of us may think it's not enough, but if we handle it your way, that we will have more than enough with you on our side. And so, God, we ask you to forgive us for uh, splurging your money, misusing your money. And we pray now that as we commit ourselves, that we cast off this weight of overspending and not handling the money that you have given us properly, so that you can enlarge our territory, so that you can trust us with even the more. For where much is given, much is required, but we are not able to give more because we are so tied up in debt and bondage. So, God, I pray freedom now as your word shall go forth and it goes not in void, that it will do what you sent it out to accomplish. In Jesus' mighty name um, and discipline. Amen. All right. So we're gonna be disciplined and we're gonna keep on trucking. God bless you guys and have a terrific night. And see you on Sunday. Sunday at 11 o'clock, and we will have communion. We will have communion. All right. Have a good weekend. God bless you.